Well, looky here. You are listening to someone who is bold, authentic, diverse, unpredictable. Baby, I am unapologetically Ramon, and you have entered my zone, the QB zone, baby. Hello, somebody.
Rock Legion.
So today's podcast is just a good old time. I know a lot of my episodes we've talked about, some personal stuff, some deep stuff, a lot of serious stuff. But today is just all about fun. I plan on cutting the hell up with my guests. I'm telling you right now, I don't know what we're gonna talk about. Our conversations are always good. Y'all enjoyed them a lot last season, so we're gonna turn it up a notch. What's so funny is the episode is called Chill, Chat, and Tea Spill with Lauren Gomes. So I knew I wanted to have a very fun episode and just be wild and free and uncensored. There's nobody else that I would want to have this conversation with. Our banter and our camaraderie is the best. And so welcome back down to the QB zone, my friend, my sister, Lauren Gomes. What's going on, girl?
Not much. I'm good. Thank you. Thank you for having me once again. And hello to everyone in the land out there. So, I'm here sipping on a little something.
You know what's so crazy? We had already said that we was going, have us some liquor, some spirits for this podcast. And before I started recording, I asked her, she was telling me what she was drinking. And I swear to God, we did not have no conversation about what we was going to drink. We had no conversation. We just said liquor, right? This woman says she has pineapple, rum, and then something with the grenadine at the top. I literally am drinking pineapple, rum. The only difference is you got that redness in there because of the grenadine, and I just got the pineapple. Well, really, I got rum with a splash of pineapple, but that's that,
I'm dead.
That is crazy that we already starting on the same wavelength. I love it.
But we've always been like that for years. So, it's just something like, I don't know what was in my spirit. I said, I had to get the pineapple because, got to get the pineapple in, right? So I said, I had some rum there. And then I was like, let me try to make a mixed drink. And then I was like, no, I want something kind of icy. So I said, okay, I'm going to just throw everything in the blender, top it off with some grenadine, and it got this little pinky kind of situation going on, and boy,
hello somebody. So did you see your little assignment I gave you with the 3 questions? I know it was last minute, so
just ask me. You already know how I do. Whatever comes to the top of the nugget.
So I thought about where we could start. I said, what don't Lauren know about me? What do I feel like talking about, right? But I'm gonna take a sip before I continue.
Ooh, that hit the chest right there.
I remember the first time I lost my virginity.
I don't think I'm ready. I don't think I'm ready for this question. Oh, Jesus.
I remember you telling me your story last season about how it might not have been an episode. I can't remember if it was an episode or just us talking. But I remember you telling me something, honey, you wasn't ready. You wasn't ready. You wasn't. So here's my little story time. So here's the thing. In my family, for some reason, it seemed like a lot of my grandmother's kids, we lost our virginity at 15. Don't ask me why. I have no idea. It's so funny because one of my younger cousins, I think she, maybe 6-7 years under me, she broke the record and decided to do her shit at 14. I don't know why the fuck she couldn't wait another year. But
okay.
But I liked to do it a lot at the time. So, I wasn't tripping too bad. And I'm going to get to that story. I can tell you, girl, the man pulled out a gun on me, Lauren.
Oh my God, I'm dead.
Listen, I got stories for days. So my grandmother decided she wanted to go back home to Alabama to visit her family. I'm always down the ride. I love going to see that side of my family. Although I'm born and raised in Florida, I always love to go visit my family back in the country. And when I say country, country, Lauren, the street.
You have family neighbors?
Yes.
No.
Yes. And then it's like wide open spaces. The roads are dirt roads. To this day, the roads are still dirt roads. We're in 2022. And there's no street lights in this part. It's called, I'm a little conscious, so I might say it wrong. I think it's called Shorterville. I call it Shouterville.
Okay.
Okay. And you know I'm feeling free because I got no shirt on, y'all. Y'all who listen, I got no shirt on. I'm feeling myself. So anyway, there's no street lights. The only light is whatever light you might have by the front door. That ain't gonna light up nothing. Mm-hmm. So I'm 15 years old. Me and my grandma, we leave my granddad and the dog back in Brevard County, and we get on the road to go to Alabama. But this time she let me be grown. What I mean by that was usually when we go back home to Alabama, me and her stay together in whoever house. Her aunties, I had a lot of aunties and older brothers living at that time. But we always stayed in the same house. She let me be grown and free. Why she did that? Because she was at her auntie house. 2 doors down was, I guess you call him my grandmother's great nephew. I stayed with them. And he had 3 kids around the same age. I've always hung out with people older, which you know that from you and Chanel and all them. Always had older friends. So one day, the first night I tried weed for the first time.
Yeah.
They laughed at me so bad because I just knew I was seeing stuff.
You figured out.
I was hallucinating. I swear this man was looking at me through the windows.
No.
I'll never forget my cousin TJ, and I can't think of his homeboy name. Cool as hell. They think, oh, you from Florida, you a city boy. I ain't no city boy.
Yeah.
I'm just not from
everybody say that.
I'm just not from these backwoods.
Mm-hmm.
So they thought it was so funny because I literally most of the night I kept seeing stuff through the window. Mind you, I kept smoking the damn weed.
Why would you do that if you seeing stuff?
They still smoking.
Oh
I'm
my
still
God.
smoking. I'm trying to be a big dog. That's my problem.
Okay. See, you gonna get grown for stuff.
Hello, somebody. Oh, I gotta tell you the time somebody tried to drug me. Okay, anyway.
Jesus. Oh my God.
So the next day, they decide they want to go hang out with some friends. They love to take me around, introduce all the friends, all that kind of stuff. When I tell you I love back home in Alabama, I couldn't live there because I'm a little too spoiled to a certain way of living. But vacation and getting away, I used to love to go all the time.
Absolutely.
Anyway, so we go visit some friends of his. And a lot of time, and back in the woods, so those parts of Alabama, especially then, they would make a lot of their liquor, which means it's extra strong. Like, girl.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. So they was like, oh, we could drink vodka tonight. And I'm looking like, what kind of vodka is this? Ain't no label on this bottle. The man that made vodka, whoever this man was, made vodka in his backyard.
I bet you it was so good.
Listen, boy. So you know, I'm a big dog. I've tasted alcohol before at this point, but it was only like 6. I don't know what drunk it is. I don't know. I've never experienced none of that. So I literally, this entire time we was there, matter of fact, it was Thanksgiving weekend this particular year. And my grandmother's birthday, I'm not sure if you knew that. My grandmother's birthday is always around Thanksgiving. So it was like a lot of celebrating, right? And I lost my virginity for the first time. I smoked weed for the first time. I got drunk for the first time this entire week. It was in Alabama a whole fucking week. Anyway, so we get the liquor, and we're just chilling, having a good old time, drinking. And then we go to another friend's house. We chilling, have a good old time. The girl, I guess my cousin was having whatever situation shit with one of the girls. So she brought 2 of her friends. Now, I have this personality. I love to meet people. So I'm already they already leaning towards me, and I'm not from here. And I guess when it comes to country people, and you have a quote unquote person who you feel is a city boy, I guess that does something like you want to know more. And you know me, I'm all love for knowing people and talking. And you know when I already
when you get down, you good.
Yeah. So we having conversation and and I'll never forget it was like a lot of Usher and Jodeci being played in the background. You know,
it's over. It's done.
But I'm 15. I don't know what's going on. So I could tell people getting close and people are touchy. That doesn't bother me. So my cousin and the girl, whatever situationship, they go wherever they go. So then all of a sudden I'm noticing some looks going around. And I guess they looking like
who finna hook up with who?
They want to try me, like what I'm finna do. I'm like a fish out of water. Mama asked me back to her room, and she brought up something about music. And my naive ass was thinking, oh, okay. She want to show me her music collection, her CD collection. Like, I'm really gullible and naive. So I go back in there. I go back in the girl room, not thinking nothing fucking of it. Next thing I know, now I ain't about a fool now. I may be naive, but I ain't too foolish now. So we go there, listen to music, and we talk about X, Y, Z, yada, yada. Mama start touching. I've always liked to be touched. Hold on now. She started touching. And all I remember was drinking more of my liquor, and then I started to feel something on my neck. Mama done came up behind me, and she's groping, and she got her mouth there, all, you know.
Oh, she wanted to get it. Look,
I'm new. I'm not knowing. I've never had anybody touch me like that. So I don't know what these feelings are. This is the first time I've had these feelings. This
oh my God.
Erection, because you know I'm a male, I've gone through puberty, but outside of that, I've never felt what comes from people touching you in a certain way, right?
Yeah.
So I was like completely under her control. Baby, all I know is Mama turned me the fuck out.
I know she did.
One thing about me, I'm not gonna punk out, and you're not gonna make me mad.
That is true.
So whatever you giving, I'm giving back. And I don't see all kind of, you know, I'm an amateur, so I don't see all kind of movies and music videos. So I'm like, okay, this is what's about to happen. And especially at this point, I don't know how much liquor I done had. So you know, I have no inhibitions, none.
I mean, we all mimic something that we that we watched or we seen or something. And even our thoughts, we mimic that. So I bet you that was an experience for you.
And that started me having a desire of having an attraction for older people. Because I was 15 years old, and granted, remember now, this was back in the woods country shit. So she was very much of age. Let me say that. I think she was like 19. She was 19. I was 15 years old. You know, that started me liking older people. That started me liking people who are aggressive. You see something and you go for what you want. If whatever going on here, you like it and you want it and you take it and you're forceful with me, baby, that turns me the fuck on. So when I tell you, listen, and it was so funny because I'm used to, you know, the movies. You have sex.
Taking your time and taking off his shirt. And, baby. She
but not even just that. Hello, somebody. But not even just that. When it's over, I'm used to watching these movies where, you know, you lay there and talk.
No, she done with that ass. She's like, no, I'm out.
Girl, I'm thinking we're gonna lay in the bed and talk. You know, I'm trying to get my Blair Underwood on her. I'm thinking we're gonna talk and cuddle, girl. No, ma'am.
She got you good.
Mama got out that bed and wanted to go roll a whole nother blunt.
Oh my goodness. No.
Maybe turn me the fuck out. Turn me the fuck out.
Oh my God. Yeah, I bet you it did. Like let me see, the best time I can say that I had, especially like when it came to smoking and everything, like I used to dabble, like play the role, but I never smoked. So I didn't know how it actually went.
Okay.
So my first time actually smoking, I would never forget this. I was in Huntsville, Alabama, and it was around my birthday. So of course I'm expecting to spend time with, my guy at the time. And I'm just like, okay, he ain't paying me no attention. So my best friend, she was like, oh, I'm gonna come and get you. So we ended up going with her and her husband now, ended up going with them to somebody's house party. Who house party this is, up to this day, I don't know who it is, right? So we was all just there, and it was like, oh, it's your birthday, we're going to turn it out. Next thing you know, there's people that just kept coming in, and it ended up being like a good 20, 25 people inside of this house. Somebody had brought weed in abundance. I don't smoke. So they was like, oh, we're going to do this puff, puff, pass. And I'm hearing what that puff, 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 puff pass is, right? I was not ready. What they did to me, I think it was a mild snippet of what Snoop Dogg did. Everybody had something in their hand and they would puff, puff, pass. Pre-COVID, everybody trusted everybody back then.
It ain't
I was so hot. Let me tell you how high I was, right? I knew I was gone when I could have sworn I seen a cop come in and was looking around and then went back out. That's what was in my head. And then we went driving, ended up going to this place called Crystals, the food chain Crystals.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I had the munchies out of this world, baby.
Oh yeah, you're gonna be hungry.
And I knew something was up because I started dancing with no music.
I mean, you got music in your head. You got music in your head.
I've never felt so hot. Like I was gone. And I said, ever since then, I would never touch weed again.
Really? Now, how long did that last?
Oh my God. It was quite a few hours. It was because it was in rotation, every person had a blunt. And it's like, okay, you smoking a little bit. And I knew it hit my chest because I wasn't ready. That's how I knew it. I said no more. Up to this day, I can never smoke again.
Well, so I like edibles. I don't mind the smoking. I don't mind that part. I prefer edibles. But one of my fraternity brothers, and I won't say his name, I'm sure if he listens, he know I'm talking about him. My favorite frat brother to smoke with. My favorite. We're from the same chapter. And just in case people listen to this and wonder which one I'm talking about, his line name is after a type of alcohol. So I put that out there. Syrah. It's Syrah. So
I'm done.
This fool always got me trying some shit, right?
Oh my God.
And we've done the puff puff pass, and then there's this thing, it's called a bomb.
Mm-hmm.
I never do right with a bomb. Now, if I'm smoking a regular blunt, I'm cool, whatever. But for some reason, I can never get it right with a bomb. I end up feeling like I'm about to cough up a lung.
Right.
Like
right.
I just had a couple lungs. But I've always had, the best of times with him. So another thing that came to my mind was, we've had a lot of different sexual experiences.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure we both could probably write 2-3 books about our experiences. Actually, I have, but that's not.
I think you did.
Have you ever, or would you ever go to a sex party?
I did when I first came to Tampa. Shh, we're not supposed to tell nobody. It was okay. I wasn't ready. I'm gonna just say that I was not ready for the experience that I had. So the guy that I was with at the time, first moved to Tampa, just chilling, meeting new people.
Right.
Tampa, right?
Right.
So I'm just like, okay. He was like, yo, get dressed up, put on some, nice clothes, we going out. No problem. I'm getting dressed, I'm feeling good and everything. And we ended up going to this place. The area is not what you expect. It was in those,
Warehouse.
it was the $1 million house. Put it that way.
Okay.
Completely, like, the neighborhood is so beautiful. When you go in, right? It's like, at least I don't want to describe the house just in case, anything, but basically what happened is when you go in, first things first, they ask you, what do you want? So me not knowing nothing, I said, whatever he's doing. So I was following his lead. Girl. I didn't know he was into this kind of stuff.
So you didn't know it was a sex party at all?
No, I didn't.
Bless your heart. Okay.
So I started hearing noises. So I'm like, you hear this? And he just has his big ass grin on his face. So I'm just like, okay, so now I'm latching on to him because now I don't know anybody. Going to that house, it shook me. Like, I knew I had experiences, but I didn't know. People of all ages, sizes, and sizes bigger than me. They had like different races there. When these people was doing it any and everywhere, there was no bars, like nothing. Anything goes. Like, literally, that was the theme. I said, I need to go. I was so uncomfortable.
Did you participate?
Hell no. Look, I'm conscious. I like to be with my person, and we do what we do, but not in front of people. Like, okay, I'll say this. If the experience is other people watching, I would be uncomfortable with that. But if I go to like other places and kind of sneak to do something, that would be exciting to me. Jesus, like these people.
Have you ever had a threesome?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna say somebody that watches the podcast. I had it with them.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's so hot to me because I done had a few of them.
I'm gonna just swallow one now.
Listen, I think I was talking to my friend JoJo. She know who she is. I ain't gonna say her whole name because I don't want people to know that she know my business, and they start asking her about it. But I got a friend named JoJo, and she, I think I was having a conversation with her the other day, and I was like, "Baby, my 20s."
I know. I was
such a slut bucket. Like, don't get me wrong. I started early in my teens being sexually active, and I think that going off to college, I wasn't sheltered, but my grandma, she had certain rules and regulations. So I never wanted to, I didn't like getting in trouble. So I just went for the try her when it came to sneaking out or trying to, dibble and dabble and stuff. Anyway, but when I went out to FIU and I went from a small town to a big city.
Right.
Like, you went from a small town to goddamn Huntsville. I went from a small town to Alabama and to Miami. And so I definitely had my share of experiences in my late teens, my 20s. My first experience for a sex party. So I've always gotten to know different types of people. And I used to be on the websites and the chat rooms real hard in the 20s, right? And so even when I first went off to college, and I would get invited to sex parties, but I would never go.
Right.
I was just very nervous to go. I had an idea, a concept of what goes on, but I was just like, I'm not going by myself. What friends do I have that will go with me? I didn't feel like I had it, so I would never go. My first sex party had to be, because after I became a Kappa. I want to say my first sex party had to be 06 or 07. And one of my friends who he actually ended up becoming I don't want to tell his business, but he ended up joining another Black Greek organization.
Mm-hmm.
And we were just having a conversation. And I was telling him about how I got invited to the sex party. And he was like, he would go. And I was like, oh. So then, so maybe I do have a friend, because at least if some shit pop off, I want to make sure I got somebody back and they got mine. You know what I'm saying? So we end up going. And it's so crazy because it was one of those situations where you kind of RSVP and they tell you the address the day of. So it's not like I know the address ahead of time. So I get this address, don't know where I'm going. I go pick them up, I go pick him up, we finna go to the party. Mm-hmm. And as I'm pulling up to the address, I'm like, that's why I said warehouse when you was telling your story, because I was like, this is a bunch of fucking warehouses. This is where am I, right? So it's this one warehouse, and this says, according to the address, that this is where we're supposed to go. This looked like this is an industrial district. Like, this is a warehouse. Wow, what am I gonna walk into, right? But you know me, that curiosity, baby. I'm gonna keep.
Yeah, you gotta find out.
Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna waste my good mobile gas. I'm gonna see what the fuck is inside. We knock on the door. We go inside, and it's first of all, it's pitch black dark. Baby, y'all ain't got no light. Y'all didn't pay y'all light bill. Like, where's the lights? I'm very naive and green. Yeah. So we pay our little money to get in, and they start explaining to us that there's free liquor, there's condoms and whatever you need. But then they start handing us a towel. I said, well, honey, what am I supposed to do with this? I'm thinking, my little goofy. I'm thinking, oh, y'all want us to take a bath before we go in here. I'm just so stupid. The person at the thing said, oh no, this is the article of clothing you wear. Excuse me? So I'm just gonna walk around naked in this towel. No. Girl, I'm already here, so you know your friend, honey.
You gotta get that experience.
So I put the towel on, and then we walked inside. And I said, it's black as hell. It's very light strategically, and I say strategically and not sporadically. Strategically, spread around. And I said, bitch lied to me. Let me tell you why I say that. When I got the flyer for the sex party, it was all black people on it. And it was all black people that look a certain way. Gotcha. A very enticing way. But girl, I walked the fuck up in this warehouse, and all I see is colonizers. And I don't discriminate. Let me put this disclaimer out there for those who are listening or watching this podcast. I do not discriminate. I have been with a few colonizers and have had a damn good time. But what I'm saying is, it was no colonizers on this flyer. So why am I still here? And even if it was the colonizers, it wasn't none of the ones that look like the people on the flyer. None of these, you're fat. They fat. She said, what you gonna say? What happened to the art? Like, it was a bunch of beautiful.
It shocked you. It look.
And no man, I'm not gonna do nothing. I'm not gonna do nothing. So me and my friend, we just chilling, drinking a liquor. Yeah. Denying people who come my way. Like, no, I'm good. So that was my first experience. But baby, when I got invited to a next sex party.
Everything on the table now.
Lauren, it was within the same month. And another friend / frat brother was like, he got invited to this party. I'm like, oh, what kind of party it was? They told me what kind of party it was. And I was like, I shared with them my experience from the other one. I said, I'm telling you, if I go here, if I waste my time, and this was going to be a longer distance of travel. I said, if I go here and I don't see what I need to see, I'm telling you right now, I'm leaving. I'm not even going to stay and drink up these people's liquor. I'm leaving. I pull up, I lived in Miami at the time because I stayed by LA. Matter of fact, I was still living on campus. So So I go with this friend to this party. Friend, it was everything.
Yes, honey. Oh my God.
I walked in. All I saw was people that looked like me and you.
Oh my God.
Baby, I had
See, I think that's what had me. Like, I got so
everything.
scared. Like, I've always wanted to go to a nude beach and have that experience because, over here in Tampa, they have stuff like that.
We have one
but I've never had the courage, I guess you can say, to really be free, so to say. So, when I see stuff like that and people who are living freely and just no inhibitions at all, like they are doing what is pleasing them, I am so self-conscious because of the whole, stigmatism of big girls. So I'm just like, I'm going to keep it cute and classy. It's just my whole brain. Now you're going to see every and anything.
But you know what I always liked about you? When I first met you, we were kids. We were both in high school, both in the same high school. So you were of slender size. I think you were playing volleyball at the time.
Yeah.
And although over the years you've gained weight, I've always felt like it was proportionate. I feel like girl, you got the extra meat, girl. But you always was proportionate.
Hold on to, they say
You was pretty with it. You still wore it well. You always wore things that complimented you. Please, all that extra meat ain't nothing on you.
I mean, I got some things, some girdles, just sucking it all in. No, I really appreciate that. Thank you. I really do, because it's like, a whole subconscious kind of thing, and being told, because yes, I was like, I think I was a size 2.
Okay.
At the time, I was tall and bones. That's what it was.
Whoa.
So, right? So now it's like, oh, you need a little more meat, because you know how people, they always teasing you and stuff like that. So I started gaining the weight, but me not thinking. And then, of course, I went through a period of time where I was just completely depressed, which added to the monstrosity. So, I ended up at my heaviest weight, which I can say, which I'm not that right now. My heaviest weight was 345.
Okay.
And that was a shock to me to say, hey, I need to get it together. So I started doing things, I'm working on it now still, but it was like, Lauren, you got to do something. You got to change something. And during that process, I met my person. And when meeting him, it's just like him knowing the struggle that I went through, and he appreciated me at this size. I was like, you know what? I'm going to start living, freely and just being me. And ever since then, I've just been so comfortable, but still working on me.
Right.
So once I began working on me, it's like, favorite things just,
things
not jiggling like how they used to.
What would you say? What would you say was one of the things you did to work on you? Because I know for me, it was surrounding myself with the right people who really feed positivity into me, and not no yes man, but just feed positivity into me. What would you say was one of the biggest things for you?
One of the things, I listened to this podcast. It's called Feminine Impression. And it's by, I believe her name is, she's a doctor. She has her PhD. I can't remember her name right now, but I happened to drive, and she just came up on the podcast as something to listen to. So I started listening, and I was like, how to be more of a feminine woman. And I'm like, well, I am a feminine woman. But then just listening to what she was saying, I had very aggressive traits. So I was like, is this really what I'm going through? Because I always compared myself, I am a male in a female's body. Because I was trying to pull niggas like,
Right. And you did with no problems.
Okay, so I was doing that, and I was like, fuck them and leave. Like, that was my thought process because of what I went through. So when it came to like really discovering who I am as a person, I really had to take a self-evaluation, look at my life over the years of why am I giving myself so freely to people who don't even deserve my presence.
Hello.
And that was something that I really had to take in, and my self-evaluation. And then I started questioning, my religion and my spirituality. And I just started questioning everything from day one. From that day that I listened to that podcast, I started, questioning a lot of the actions that I would take to go towards discovering who I was, like truly who I was. So now it's like, okay, I know myself. I'm reassuring who I am.
Absolutely.
So now it's to live in my purpose. And that's what I'm doing now. I'm still discovering some other things, but right now I'm very happy. I'm comfortable. It's just something that I never thought I would be in right now. Like, this is a completely different person compared to me just even 2 years ago.
And isn't it such a
Maybe
freedom?
5 years ago.
Isn't it such a freedom to be that way?
Baby, I've never been at peace like this in my life.
Yeah.
This is the best me that I have ever been in my years of life, okay? I ain't trying to say my age. I'm not ready yet.
Listen, trust me, because I remember when I had my birthday and I was telling my cousin we 4 months apart. I said, wait a minute, I can't say mid or early 30s no more. I couldn't even fix my mouth to say that I'm in my. I can't even fix my mouth to say it.
I can't. I'm struggling. I'm hitting a major milestone this year, and I'm not ready. I'm not like.
Ain't we supposed to be taking a trip for your birthday? Oh, am I thinking about something else?
It was your birthday.
Oh, when I get that age. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Because I was like, look, I can tell you the experience about that. Like, even what I used to do for major milestones in my life, and you were at my 30th birthday party.
I was.
You were.
I was there.
So what I used to do is every major milestone, I would plan this big party. Like, I would start.
You got us drunk.
With all these things. I was going out. I was trying to look. I was having it. Okay?
Everything. Yeah, I remember.
It was everything. So that's something that I wanted to do. So for my 30th birthday, my next milestone, I planned a party. It was something small, but it was at this place called Top Golf.
Yep.
I paid for everything. When I mean everything, all people had to do was to show up. I sent out invitations. I sent out, like little emails and, text messages and saying, hey, this is what's going on. Just show up. That's all I wanted people to do. And these are who I thought were my friends.
Correct.
Baby, ain't nobody showed up but my family. So I said from that day, I'm not letting nobody get my money like that. Like, I legit, at that age, it was shocking to me because these are people who I've known for years.
Absolutely.
And I never thought that I would have experienced that in my life, especially because these are people I used to chill with every freaking weekend. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like, this is something I'm surely planning, and like, let's go have fun, let's drink, let's have a good time. And you not show up. And then the excuses that I was getting, and to me, there were excuses. It's a kid-friendly place, so you can bring your children.
Correct.
That's one. Distance-wise, it was central to everybody, and gas prices wasn't high.
Very low.
So at that time, you know what I'm saying? Then it was, they had to work later that evening. The event was 10 a.m. you could stay 2 hours.
Correct.
Like, in my mind, that like all these things was just running through my mind. And I said, ever since that day, I am going to treat everybody the same way how they treat me.
Absolutely.
And ever since I started doing that, I've been dropping people like there's mosquitoes, like, when I was spraying something.
Yeah.
So it was just me knowing that experience. I've never given myself the opportunity to plan anything big.
Absolutely.
So now that I have this milestone coming up, I said, you know what? If I'm with my family, I'm happy. That's it. I got my dude, I got my family, I'm good. I don't need no extra stuff. So if I am going to do something big, which I'm planning for my 50th, you already know what time it is when it gets to that point, okay? God's spirit.
And no time soon.
You already know. Look, you know how I throw parties. And
That is true.
I bring the liquor.
That is true. Hello, somebody.
I bring the liquor, okay?
Hello. Yeah. And
So,
it's crazy because you think that these people who you've done so much for or been around a lot, that they're going to show up for you. So I definitely get what you mean, because when it comes to family, when it comes to friends, when it comes to fraternity brothers, I have very much been in situations where I've given so much to people. And when I expect them to show up for me, they do not. And I think as I've gotten older, because there was a period of my life where I sought validation that fed my ego. I felt like that gave me purpose because you was around me, you needed me. But as I got older, I can actually have peace and happiness without depending on you. That it's more quality and not quantity. That I was able to really learn how to have some peace with my core people and really enjoy life, because I know that I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. I made mistakes. I've done people wrong, not intentionally, but I've done people wrong. And so my thing is, I know what I bring to the table as a friend and a lover. And so the same level of reproach that I hold other people is the same level I hold myself at. And so I've definitely been very, you talk about moving people and move people around. I call it a people purge. I'm very in support of doing a people purge. And nobody's exempt. I don't care if we share bloodline. Nobody is exempt.
That part.
My peace and happiness is number one, and it's gonna always be number one. I don't give a damn.
And it took me a while to actually learn that. It was hard for me because, especially when it came to family,
that's the hardest.
It's hard. And I was battling myself like, that's, such and such a person or such and such a person. And to say that I literally have to let you go for my own peace of mind, I'm glad I did, because now I'm at a place of freedom. I am so free and I'm so happy. Like this, I've never felt this happy in my entire life. Like when I'm telling you, like, I can literally get up and I just have a smile on my face, just knowing that I'm in a good place.
Yeah. I agree, because, and, I've talked about it on here on the podcast and with you, I'm in therapy. And, one of the things I remember telling my therapist was, I've always been popular in middle school, in high school, in college, and maybe it's especially with growing up, for example. Brevard kind of ain't but so big. We only have certain schools. We didn't have Bayside until my last year. And then right. And then now they got a Heritage and all these other schools. So, Palm Bay, let's keep it real. Palm Bay High was the shit. Palm Bay High was a school. Everybody was there. And the thing about it was that I had older relatives that were already in high school. And so when I moved up to high school, I didn't have to start at the bottom of the totem pole because everybody already knew me from my family. And so I've always had the popular thing, going out to college at FIU, becoming a Kappa, being involved in all these organizations. I've always been known. And I could be in a room full of people and feel alone.
Yeah.
And you do so much for people, and it's like, what's left for you, So I totally can relate to you saying, just the peace and joy and happiness you have right now, because I have amazing people in my life. I have a wonderful core group of people, family, friends,
Mhm.
brothers, whomever. And I'm happy about that. I don't have to have my
Yeah.
phone ringing off the hook like it used to. I don't
Yes.
have my text messages ringing off the hook. I don't have to have people needing me all the time. That no longer feeds
Mhm.
me because I'm number one. And as long as I'm
Right.
happy and focused on me, yeah, it makes me mad with myself because I'm like, damn, why could I not be this way in my 20s? I could have been so much further in life. At
Further.
the end of
Yes.
the day, it is what it is, right? But yeah,
Mhm.
I can definitely relate. I feel like, especially with the last 3 years that I've been through, I am at the most positive and just joy and
Good.
happiness that I have been in a very long time. It's
Yes. Don't
amazing.
it feel good?
Oh
Don't
my
it feel good? I feel like if you just busted a nut. I'm telling you, baby.
Woo! Hell mercy, Jesus. Speaking of busting a nut, have you ever had an experience where your toes curl?
Mm.
You know, I didn't know what was going on the first time it happened. I thought I had to call the ER because
Baby.
my
Mm.
toes curl, but my feet won't go back to
Mm.
normal.
Let me
I thought I had to
look.
call 911.
Let me tell you about this one, okay? Let me not talk too loud because you know.
I'm gonna refill my cocktail while you're talking. Go ahead. Wait, you got
Let me
somebody
tell you
there?
about this. But he's like one thing that I appreciate, like anything that I talk to him about, he knows. He know you.
Right.
You already know how we do it.
Yeah.
So let me tell you about this one, right? So he has I'll just say he's experienced. Okay. He's very experienced. And I have never experienced such a euphoric, like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just out of body experience.
Uh-huh.
So when I'm telling you, like, the way how this man just moves, and I think it's because I truly am, for the first time in my life, truly in love with somebody. So now that love is involved into our sexual experiences, it has put such a just, I don't know what to call it. It's just out of this world.
Yeah.
I've never
Love
had
and
sex.
emotions take it to another level.
Look, let me tell you what this. I've never cried. He made me cry because I love him so much.
Oh.
I've never cried. He always laugh about it. We laugh about it all the time. But to actually have that, and the way how he just certain moves that you make, and you know what I'm saying, to where your body starts doing all kind of I have never had that experience. Never, ever, 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 ever. So once he was able to do that, and actually I became very vulnerable with him. That's when I actually climaxed to another level. Busting a nut is busting a nut. But
Right.
once you really reach that big O, I don't know if you know about squirting.
Yeah. Yeah. He made you do that, girl? Became a waterfront, honey.
Look, let me tell you, when I have never done it to that extent.
Uh-huh.
I think I always tell him that he put his juju on me.
You know, I think that's possible, honey. I believe in that, honey.
Juju on me. So I said, "There's no way nobody ever."
But see, he has age and experience, right?
Yes,
And that's the thing. He knows
in his
tricks.
upper 40s.
See, he knows tricks that you don't know yet.
Mm-hmm.
He put them tricks on your ass.
Good Lord. Mm. Just leave me alone. Don't judge me.
I love it. I love it.
I'm gonna fuck him up tonight.
Hello, somebody. Listen. You know, I never understood the concept of being able to nut more than once, right?
Really?
No. So I was with an older person, I like my older people. I was still in my teens, dealing with an older person. And we had just finished doing what we do. And they asked me my age. I lied about my age. And I don't know what it was, but they waited till after we did what we did to ask me my age. And I was honest at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, because what am I lie about now? I don't know, I already got it. What am I lie about my age now? So,
Right.
when I was honest about my age, I thought the conversation or the interaction was going to go stage left. They wanted some more, and I was like, we just finished. Like, what more are you finna get out of that? What more juice are you finna squeeze out of this orange?
Oh, it's gonna come out, and you last a whole bunch longer.
I didn't know that. I was still young. I was still in high school, and I'm like, wait a minute, you can come more than once. Baby, it was everything. I'm telling these older people turn me the fuck out.
I'm telling. Look, I used to always say, you know, I'm never going to mess with anybody that was 6 months younger than me.
6 months.
The max. Look, I'm telling you, this is what my mindset was. Right?
I thought you were gonna say 6 years, 6 months.
6 months younger than me, and maximum 4 years, 5 years the most, older than me. I got a grown ass man. And there's something about these grown folks, where they get this stamina from, without pills, without teas, without whatever. Like, where's this coming from?
Right.
I'm not used to this. And what I mean is multiple times. I'm having a moment. Yes, but he knows I love him. You know, our experiences are very honest. So I really like the idea of just being open with one another. And he gives me the communication that I actually require from since day one we started. You know, our situation is a lot different from anybody else. So given the circumstances, I said communication is a big, big key for me. So once you start, like when I know something is gonna go down, it start early. It start early. So, you know, text messages, pictures, phone conversations, it starts early. And then, you know, it takes a woman a lot longer than men do to actually get to that point. But now I think it's to the point where I just see him and I'm just like, I'm ready. Let's go. Let's do this.
Liz, I know that's right.
I never thought that I would ever be that way with anybody, even when I was engaged. Never. So now it's like, okay, take my time and just enjoy the moment. And that's exactly what I'm doing. And baby, he ain't never disappointed.
No, that's right.
Oh God.
That is so
don't tell him I said this. Okay.
Do y'all have you ever used any kind of food items?
With me and him?
Or anybody, or him, yeah?
With me and him, no, but we've used toys.
Okay.
So
have you used the one where you put the thing in your hoo-ha and he has the remote control, or you haven't tried that one yet?
I've never, look, you know I'm very funny, right? And you know I'm loud as hell. So can you imagine walking with something up in me and he's controlling that? Hell no.
You out and make it so bad, you be out in public. You be out in public, in a restaurant, in the mall, in the store, and he decides he wants to do the remote control.
That is wrong. It is wrong. Now, I did have some vibrating panties. I did have those when I was a lot smaller.
So what's the vibrating panties like?
It's just a little bullet that is right. Can I be explicit?
Yeah.
Okay. So the vibrating panty is it has a bullet which goes right on the clitoris.
Okay.
So you put it on and every so often it gives you that jolt or that buzz.
It does it randomly.
So yes, Lord.
Okay.
Yeah, so I can't imagine something like that happening where someone controls it.
Right, they can, and not only control it, they control the frequency.
Yes, and I can't. Yeah. I'll be nutting all over myself. No, and then knowing the fact that I do juice, I can't. I can't.
It would be like throwing it in a swimming pool. It just soaked his head.
I can't do that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I can't do that. No.
Have you ever been caught having sex? Like caught by somebody?
So oh my God. This is a little embarrassing, but I'm gonna tell you the story. I was in college.
Okay.
I was at school, and this school does not allow sexual activities outside of, at school itself. So me and my ex, we decided to have an experience. And baby, when I tell you this experience just blew my mind, we was outside. Like, you remember those industrial air conditioners?
Yeah. Y'all on top of the air conditioner.
Baby, when I'm telling you that breeze was blowing, okay, and we was getting at it.
Oh,
Why did campus security come around? Baby.
Shut up.
Campus security almost busted our ass. Like, they came, it was at night too. So they came around and they shone like the lights directly at us. But when I tell you, I put on my clothes so quick. And I was ducking behind the air conditioner. And he
yes, God.
Look, we was there for about 15 minutes. I said, ain't no way I ain't doing this shit again. But baby, that was hot. It was all fire. It was great.
I think the first time I got caught, because I was always very careful about being alone. The first time I got caught, I was probably in my early 30s, and I had went on a group trip to Vegas, and a bunch of us wanted to go to LA, which is like 4 hours away. Los Angeles, South Hollywood, like 4 hours away. And we drove over there, met up with some people, because one of the people that I was with, they are a nurse, and so there's like a group or a collective of nurses that they've really bonded and stay in contact with each other. And so we went over there and met up with them. And it was a good old time. We met at a restaurant, very friendly. Like I said before, I come with personality, so it tends to draw people in. And so we were just having a good old time. And then the people that they know that live there came to the restaurant, and we're just having a good conversation. We have been drinking it, or I'm really extra Ramon, and it was cool, just good vibes or whatever. And they was like, "Are you gonna come?" They told me to come with them to the roof. What am I going to the roof for? Like, why am I?
Sounds fun. Hey, let's go.
Like I said, you know me, so I ain't finna fucking say no. I'm finna, my curiosity always guys, and so I'm like, what the fuck we finna do on the roof? Let's go. So I followed them to the roof. One was from my group that we was with, and the other was one of their friends that lived there. We're on the rooftop, and they started doing what they was doing, and I was standing there looking like, oh, this kind of party. So then they're looking at me like, you just gonna fucking stand there, you're not gonna join? Oh, you got to tell me twice.
Oh.
So I joined in and we get it on. And then next thing I know, the main, it was three of us, the main person who was kind of doing stuff to or with or whatever, they looked and was like, what is that over there? Listen, that made me scared. What you mean, what the fuck is out of there? What do you see?
Right.
Somebody had them crept up. And I guess when they noticed us all looking at them, they was like, I have y'all check. Girl, the goddamn waiter.
No.
The waiter done came to our table looking for us. Well, looking for the one person, because the one person was paying for some of us.
Yeah.
You know, and so they were told that we were up on the roof. We were upstairs. It's a rooftop place. So and that we was upstairs. So they came upstairs to get us. I guess they thought we were just chilling and talking. Well, we were not. And they were just chilling for minutes watching us.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I don't know how much they saw.
You know they saw some balls
they were standing there, but baby, they got them a show. Hello. I feel so embarrassed.
You see somebody booty thing?
Had the one person we was with not realized that he see the shadow of something over there. There's no telling what all that waiter would have saw.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they saw everything. They saw what they needed to see.
Baby, that trip didn't owe me nothing.
Look, let me tell you something. It's just something about when you do things and having those experiences that make you appreciate the life that you live, because otherwise you wouldn't appreciate where you at now.
Hello.
So like my question, what experience out of all your experiences do you think has taught you a lesson now? Like now that you're older, I'm wondering.
Taught me a lesson.
Mm-hmm. So I'll explain. For me, what I used to do back then, back in my early, 20s, and I ain't gonna lie, my early 30s.
Yeah.
What I've learned with those experiences, what I appreciate now is genuine connections. What I used to do, it was literally fucking go. Mm-hmm. I had no connections with people. I never appreciated the true value of a relationship. So now that I actually have one and I'm in one, I can honestly say that if I did not go through what I went through, I would not be where I am today with my person.
Amen.
So that's what I've learned is I used to just fucking go like, don't touch me. I got my nut, you get yours, Now I can actually embrace what I have now. So that's kind of like what I've learned growing in the day. So
I think for me, I would say a lot of my sexual experiences, because with the exception of my first sexual experience, like I said, in Alabama, that was very much mutual. I enjoyed it. It was fun. As I got older and I started to really learn more about my body and sexual activity, and start to enjoy doing certain things, me at a very young age feeling like my validation and my happiness came from other people. A lot of my sexual experiences were because I needed attention. I wanted to feel special. I wanted to feel appreciated. I wanted to feel needed. And so that's why most of my sexual experience occurred. As I've gotten older and I realized that there's more that I bring to other than sexual experience, that there's so much more amazing things about me besides that. And I no longer seek validation from people. I understand the connection thing that you stated, but I think also for me, I just learned more self-love and my self-worth. And so I don't want a situation where I've given up myself to everybody because I'm worth more than that. Everyone can't afford this. Everyone can't afford. So if you have insufficient funds, for lack of better words, I should not be spending time with you. And so
that part.
that's what it taught me. I would say more self-love and self-appreciation for myself. And that's why my sexual experiences have been few and far in between. And I've been very specific and careful about who I engage in these sexual acts with, because I don't want to feel like my quality is tainted.
Right.
And so for me, I would say for me, that's what it was: self-worth and self-love.
So do you think, like, and maybe I might be opening a whole can of worms that I may not want to necessarily do. I'm just curious. So a woman that has basically had lived her life, multiple sexual partners over the year, let's say a porn star. I don't know. I'm just throwing something out there because, I like to ask questions, challenging people.
Right.
So, now her cootie cat is basically like beef jerky. Do you think do you think that she can actually find somebody to settle down? And do you think that a man actually, especially nowadays, do you think that men nowadays would appreciate her as a person and not from what her job was?
No. I think that that's possible for a stripper, because not all strippers, they dance. Not all of them are sleeping around. Yeah. But for someone where you're having sex, you're letting someone in you, God knows how many times a day, a week, or however you work, it's going to be very hard, because when we're in relationships, we want to feel like we're a prize. I want to feel like you're grateful to have me. I want you to feel like I want to be grateful to have you. And so if everyone have had me, if everyone has had you, what am I feeling grateful for? What is it to feel proud about? And so I think for most men, that because we look at the body differently, that it's going to be very hard for us to take a woman seriously that's a porn star that has already been with so many men. We're going to take her seriously as far as having fun with her and buying a party. But as far as a relationship, I think it's going to be really hard for a female to find love. Not that she doesn't deserve it. Everybody deserves love. Everybody deserves love. I don't care what your path has been. Everyone deserves love. But because of how we are wired and how we think, it's going to be very hard for her to find that in a man.
See, to me, that's just like, I guess I'm just thinking about like, all these people in the industry, even though I don't know not one of them, I'm just curious as to how would they find the genuine happiness at the end of their career, especially when they looking like how they looking. What can they appreciate?
It's about the image, and it's about it's one thing to be I don't want to say a hoe. It's one thing to have been with a lot of people and no one knows, versus being with a lot of people and everyone knows.
Gotcha.
If you're a porn star, everyone knows you've been with a lot of people. So we as men, we got to say face. We don't want that look.
Right. So you can basically be a hoe and still be a good girl.
Hello. Because if you've had a crap load of partners and no one knows, it can affect nothing.
So, question: would you be willing to say the amount of partners that you've ever had over your lifetime?
I would have no problem saying the number.
I can't say it.
So here's the thing with me though. I don't have no problem saying the number, but I don't think I could because I lost count.
No. I'm done. You in? You got that one. Baby, you got that one. I'm like, dang.
I can't tell you how many.
There
are certain people that have spelled out. You think I started at 15 and now I'm 38 years old. So within that amount of time, I mean, I haven't had that much sex in the last 5 years. But when you talk about just from 15 to 33, honey, listen, my 20s, like I tell you, my 20s alone, my late teens and 20s alone, I was horrible. I was horrible. And even in my 30s now, like,
oh my God.
Although with the past few years, the sexual partners have been few and far in between.
Right.
Unfortunately, because I like doing things with my mouth. And so at times, I don't need to have full-on intercourse. I could just be happy doing that. And so that has been most of my sexual experiences. Most of my sexual experiences have not been me penetrating nobody. A lot of my sexual experiences have been mutual or transaction, or even just me giving, and I'm good. So that's why I've had a lot. I can't remember. Let me tell you something. Not only can I not remember, there's some people I can't remember the damn name. Because some people, I didn't need to know your name. And I'm just gonna be honest. I did not know your name.
There's only one person that I don't remember their name, but I do remember where they're from. Yes, so does that count?
It counts for something because I can't even fucking tell you that.
It was just different. But you know,
my grandma, that was a nosy woman. That one was nosy.
Yeah.
I remember one time. Yes, God. Yes, God. I remember one time she told me, she called herself on to preach and give me a lecture. I miss her lectures. And she gonna tell me about living right and yeah. And then she says to me, let me get it straight. She says, and all them people you sleeping with ain't gonna help you either. Hold on, lady. First of all, I ain't never had no conversation with you about my sex life. What is you talking about? I don't even know what the fuck she was talking about.
They know.
I never told you nothing. And I'm just like, I'm like, hold on, lady. What you talking about?
Gave me the goosebumps, baby.
Yeah, she told me I will never forget. And I remember my last conversation with her. I called her. We was talking our shit, having a good old conversation. And her doorbell rang. And she was like, oh, I got to go. I got company. No, ma'am. Who is at your door? Who is there to see you? You know this woman called. She gonna tell me, you ain't gonna question me about who I sit up with, and I don't question you about who I lay up with. Hold on. Who said I lay up with anybody?
Yes.
Like
she always was in mouth. I love her.
It's like my grandma knew who is telling you what I'm doing? You ain't gonna question me about who I sit up with, because I don't question who I lay up with. Wait a minute later.
Hey.
First of all, what's going on here?
I'm done. Yes. I love it. See, those are the experiences that we definitely got to cherish, because I would love to have that. Like, you know, look.
She was a trip. She was a trip.
Yeah, she was. But she always made sure that you were spiritually, like, at least there. Like, I love that about her. Love that.
Yep, we had worship every Friday when the sun went down. We had worship every Saturday when the sun, set again. Yeah, she was very big on that. Always asked me, did I pay my tithes? Am I paying my tithes?
Yeah.
And you know what? That's something, not to get off topic. I know we've been talking all kind of craziness. I really want to do better about paying my tithes, because I think about a lot of the stories that she told me, and her whole thing was her faith in paying tithes. And that is what got her through the various situations. But let me tell you about the one time my grandma told me about an orgasm.
Wait, what? No, I don't think I'm ready for that.
I wasn't ready for it. Listen, let me tell you something. My grandma she know her child. She know I am rebellious. She knows that personality, and she has always encouraged and supported me expressing myself. But she know Ma'am, it's certain conversations we are not gonna have.
Yeah, no.
Girl, I'm not having a conversation. I'm more with my mama slipped when we was in a good place. I slipped and told her I lost my virginity. I was tell her felt the need to go tell my grandma. I'm not gonna have no conversation with you about this lady. We're not gonna talk about this. Anyway, so I'll never forget. You remember when I don't know if you remember when I used to live at Wood Lake Apartments?
Oh yes.
That was long time ago.
Dang.
Yeah. So Thanksgiving this particular year, my biological mom came down with my siblings for Thanksgiving. And my sister brought a boyfriend of hers. And so my mom and my sister stayed with my grandma, and my brother and the boyfriend stayed with me in my apartment. I had a good old time with them, by the way. But anyway, we go to my grandma's house the next day, and it's all of us. My grandma stood in the kitchen. It's all of us. And my uncle, my oldest uncle, he's on the back porch. That's where he slept at. A whole nother conversation. My mom, my biological mom, used to have issues. I ain't gonna say issue, but she used to have this habit of having my baby brother ask some bullshit that she's not gonna get a rise out of people. Like one time she had my brother call me and ask me how to make a woman come. Excuse me, young man? But here's the crazy part. He doesn't say, hey, big brother, how you been? Or hey, what's going on? As soon as I say hello, or what you want, because you know my little personality. What you want, nigga? Right. How you make a woman come? Excuse me?
Take you
and here she goes. Because his daddy in prison. I've always liked his daddy, by the way. But his daddy in prison. So she's like, oh, you the big brother. You need to teach him. Girl, no the hell I don't.
Oh my God.
This is my baby brother.
Right.
He is a child. Girl, at that time, he was like 18 years old, girl. I'm not having this conversation with him. I'm not having this conversation with him.
It's uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable. I hung up the phone. Anyways, so we all sitting there in my grandma's living room. And I see my mom whisper something to my brother. And I knew my spirit told me.
Yes.
This some bullshit. Yes. My baby brother is so innocent when it comes. He's very innocent. So it is very hard to be mad at him. He just have this innocent, don't know no better kind of vibe. A dope guy. He works. You know, I'm very proud of him. But anyway, he says, Granny, what's an orgasm?
To your grandmother. I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
I just remember me looking at my mom like, Heifer, you going to hell. My sister, you know, I'm the oldest. I'm the one that people listen to. So my sister looking at me like, nigga, what you finna do?
Right.
This the first time my sister boyfriend at the time had been around us. So he looking like, what is going on? Like, what is going on? My uncle's on the back porch. He's looking like, So I said, Granny, ignore him. Do not answer that question. Here she goes. You know, my grandma support the foolishness. So she was like, oh, go look it up in the dictionary. No, ma'am. He do not need to look that up. Ignore him, Granny. But here she go. How he gonna learn? You gotta educate the youth. Let him go look it up later.
I love it. She right though. She's right.
Girl, you shut up. So this idiot go gets the dictionary.
Oh my God.
And at this point, I want my keys. Where are my car keys?
You want your keys?
I want to go home. Because, you know, I never lived far from my grandma. I only lived 5 minutes away at this time.
That's true, yeah.
So I'm like, y'all just call me when the food ready. I want to go home.
Oh my God, no.
My grandma had this thick Webster dictionary from the time I thought was at Stone Junior High. She's always had this thick ass dictionary. So he go get a dictionary. And I'm like, Jesus help me. Jesus rescue me. He looks up in the dictionary and he reads the definition. The whole time I'm not looking at nobody.
You trying to go?
I just want this to be done and over. But what came out of my grandma's mouth next took me over. I was done.
I'm not ready.
He read the definition. My grandma, Amanda Burnett Llewellyn, with all seriousness, said, no wonder I didn't know what it was, because your granddaddy never gave me one.
I'm done. Log off right now. I quit. I'm done. No, sir.
Do you see how I'm looking? That's how I was looking when she said that. But listen, I don't have this conversation with my grandma. I don't have this kind of conversation. So I'm looking like,
wait.
honey, I wanted my keys. What are my keys? I want to go home. I'm not. First of all, my uncle looked like he was about to pass the hell out. My poor uncle. And you know, this particular uncle of mine, he has issues with substance abuse. But I love my uncle because, you know, he always has done right by me. He's always been really good to me as an uncle. In spite of his challenges, you know, I have some good memories with him. And he was about to pass the hell out because he could not believe the whole conversation that just took place. Me and my sister look like, because you remember my grandparents separated, and this was post the separation. So then next thing I know, my mama's looking like,
oh my God.
And I said, Helfer, that's exactly what you get. That's exactly what you get, asking some shit like that. Now your mama done told you some shit you can't handle. My mama, baby, let me tell you something. I said, Granny. Wait. She said, no wonder I didn't know what it was because your granddad never gave me one. So here's my mama thing. My biological mom, her thing was, you know, and to be honest, that really bothered my mama. Like, all that really bothered her because she was shocked at the word that came out of her mama's mouth. And I'm like, well, Helfer, I'm shocked at the word that came out of your mouth.
The question.
You the one who asked my brother to ask her that question. I'm shocked at the question, right?
Oh my goodness.
So then, I mean, not even exaggerating, for months after that, whenever I would have a conversation with my mom, she would bring that up because she was really confused about how that was possible. I said, well,
it's possible.
She was like, because my grandma had 4 kids. She was pregnant, she had a miscarriage. So she was pregnant 5 times. She had 4 kids. My mama did not understand how you can have kids and didn't have orgasm. I said, well, honey, let me educate you. I said, go back in y'all day, because, you know, my mom was born in the 60s. I said, back in y'all day, y'all probably thought this was synonymous with one another. I said, no. I said, Mama, all you need is the sperm count to have a baby.
That's it.
You ain't got to be good at sex. You don't have to have no orgasm. Baby, you can get pregnant from pre-com. Let's be real.
I know a couple people that happened to.
Girl, you and me both. Talk about a fucking pull-out method. Pull-out method works since Adam and Eve.
Thank you. Baby.
It was funny as hell. I said, don't y'all ever. And from that day forward, they never asked my grandma no bullshit. But I'm telling y'all, I get it from her. Don't ask us no bullshit because we're going to give y'all the answers and y'all going to be like, why the hell did we just...
That just reminded me of when I think it was Shauna asked my mom what a dildo was.
No. You remember that time? Was you there when Chanel found out your mama read my first book?
I don't know. I
Girl, I
wasn't
was
there.
embarrassed. Girl, I was embarrassed.
Whoa.
I'm like, wait a minute. You know, Elder Gomes and Sister Gomes, I'm the good church boy.
Let me tell you
You
something.
can't let them
I can
read
tell
my
you a
books.
story when
Not my
mom,
first 3 books. My last 2 they could read, but not my first 3.
So you know I'm a huge fan of Zane.
You and me
know
both,
this.
girl. Yeah.
So you know how Sex Chronicles is, right? One of
the best ever.
Thank you. I had the books in my room. At the time before my grandmother passed away, she used to wander and
I liked your grandma too, by the way.
Thank you. She's just so innocent, you know. In my mind, my grandmother, she don't know nothing about this stuff. So she talking about she getting a book to read. Why you pick up Zane? Sex Chronicles at that.
Of all books.
Of all the books that I had. Now, you know, I had a collection of all, you know, a Carl Weber, all of them, you know, all Eric Jerome, Mickey, all of them. But
oh, you know they made a TV show out of Carl Weber's books?
Shut up. HBO? Cinemax?
No.
Stars?
So, on BT Plus, you have The Family Business, but then it's another one he has coming out. When I'm sober, I'm gonna send you the link. I can't think of the name of it right now. But it's coming out soon, and it's a Carl Weber book, and it looks so good. It looks so good. I'm gonna send you the link. I'm gonna send it tomorrow. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. So my grandmother, she's there, she going through now, she in this book now. Now my mother happened to see my grandmother reading this book. Now I know my grandma can't really see too well, so how she reading Zane is beyond me. Anyways, my mom decided to take up the book from my grandmother and started reading it. And when I tell you some holy water was going on about that book.
Because Sex Chronicles don't hold nothing back.
So then when I came home from work, she was like, Lauren, why you have your grandmother reading that stuff? So I was like, what you talking about? I had no clue. I went into the garage, right? Why was my book soaked in oil? In engine oil, it was ruined. My book was ruined.
My mother prayed over your book.
Look, when I'm telling you that whole book was gone, and then she tried to ground me, but you can't ground a grown ass person. You know what I'm saying? At the time I was living with her. But I was like, she was like, do you know what's in those books? Why would you bring that into my house? And like, she cussed me out, man.
I'm surprised she didn't say that to me when she started reading my book.
She wouldn't say it to you. I don't think she would ever say it to you, but for the fact that I brought it in her house, like I legit brought it into her house like that.
Chanel told me that your mama accidentally read a few pages of my book. I was so embarrassed. Oh my God. Because I'm like, this is
my mom knows me. She want to know what her kids is doing.
this is Elder and Mama Gomes. Ramon is the little innocent boy. Like they cannot read this book.
That whole life. Now you know this is why I say I was a rebellious person.
But you know, one thing I've always liked about your parents was, you know, y'all like family to me. Y'all have always been there for me through everything. And they never judged us.
Never.
They allowed us to be us. They never made us feel like we was wrong for our life experiences of things I did. Your mama and dad, and my grandma too, but my mom and dad always, they were just amazing. You know, and my grandma, whenever I would say, oh, I'm going with Lauren or Chanel or Marsha, my grandma loved y'all. Like it was just,
you know, we love her too.
Yeah.
We love her too. It's like the genuineness, so genuine.
Yeah, and what was so crazy was, and not to say that I didn't know how close your family was with you, how they felt about me. It spoke volumes to me when the funeral happened. I don't know if I told you this, but the funeral happened. I knew Chanel was going to come because that's Chanel. Yeah. She was going to call me, that's my sister. And, of course, I figured her husband's going to come. When I turned around and I saw Ashley and your daddy,
do you know it hurt me? I couldn't come. I was crying because I couldn't come.
You don't even live in the same county. That was different. I knew you were in there.
I couldn't get off of work. Like they tried me.
But that's just how amazing your family is for me. And I think your daddy was in the islands at that time. So for your daddy to come over here to want to support me, that was amazing for me. Like, I have always loved your family, but that was amazing. But I was just like, honey, I'm good for Ramon Ferrell. Why y'all let this woman read my book?
Hey, let me tell you, it's some good reading, okay?
I appreciate that. Thank you.
It's a good. I've learned a few things.
Listen, so let me tell you something. So the book that I got coming out August 1st. Did I send you the stuff?
No, you didn't tell me anything. Shame on you. We go fight.
This is bad. So I got a new. I'm releasing my next book on August 1st. I think by the time this episode comes out, it'll be past August 1st. But nonetheless,
that's all right. That's all right.
That's another poetry book. You know the stuff I've been through the past few years. So I have been journaling. And so a lot of those journaling things I had turned to poems. So that book is coming out. I'm telling you right now, you're gonna be a little concerned. I know how your heart is, because I remember last season when we had the absentee parent episode, you was like, oh my God, I can't believe you've been through that. So you're gonna have one of these experiences again, because I'm being very honest in this book. And then I got one more book that is more on the self-help, how I got over kind of feel.
Yes.
But baby, after that book, I'm going back to the nastiness.
Yes. I'm ready. I am ready for it. Yes, I've been waiting. I've been waiting for this. Yes, you don't understand. Look, you know how your books do to people, okay? You learn something and you try them.
Listen, but you know what's so funny? And I really appreciate this. People have actually read my erotica books, whatever you want to call it, and they've enjoyed them to the point where they have wanted to try certain things. Because let's be real, I'm not no celebrity. So the fact that people have thoroughly enjoyed my books, and I'm going to do a few posts on Facebook because I've released 4 books, and I'm not tooting my own horn. All of my 4 books have been bestsellers on Amazon, and I have to prove it. My last book was #1 in its category. So I'm very grateful that little old me was able to, create these kind of things. But y'all have thoroughly enjoyed my book.
Let me tell you something, okay?
And speaking of sex, what was one of your favorite, and don't include the person that you with now, because we know that he's uphill. He on a whole different level. Outside of him, Jesus. You know what? Can we get him on a podcast episode? Are you ready for that? Or are you not ready yet?
I'm not ready for that.
Okay,
I want you all to myself, but I'll ask him.
Because I feel like and let me say one thing about him. I appreciate the fact that he supports me a lot on social media, because although he never met me, I go on my notification. This man is sharing and liking and commenting. He really supports me on social media. So I really appreciate him for that. But outside of him, what would you say is one of your favorite sexual experiences?
I'm telling you, that fan, baby. Fan. Yeah, the industrial, when I almost got caught. That was when I'm telling you, that experience just blew my mind, because it's knowing, first of all, you have the cool air coming from the bottom of your body, or if you want to be on top or whatever, you have the air coming up, right? And then the heat and the passion of the actual act, it is a whole different industrial air conditioning fan. Do you know how much power that is? And then you get pounded on top of that. Oh my God. But I would never tell him
that
I enjoyed it.
Oh my goodness.
Because it's just, I've never thought that something like that, basically being caught, having such a sexual experience like that, where you literally are getting goosebumps because of the fan and the heat mixture, like that just blew my mind.
Absolutely.
And it was good. It was so good.
Yeah.
It probably got a stain somewhere, but we ain't gonna talk about that. Yeah, that was one of my best experiences, sexually, the sexual experiences that I've ever had. That's one of many, but that one literally stands out. I have a couple more, but I don't know if you want to hear them.
Oh, I don't mind.
Same person. I made him run.
What you mean run?
I made him run. He wasn't ready for what I was giving.
Oh no.
And so I basically started out the evening. I like to pamper my man. So
yeah,
I got some flowers and made him a bottle bath. I literally bathed him. Of course I had to feed him and everything. Yeah, I took care of that. Look, at the time I was on a whole different level. Not now, like now I'm a little more. But I had to do what I had to do with the coins that I had. So, I'm here, I'm taking care of him. I'm literally bathing him. I'm cleaning his nails, washing his feet. I'm doing all of this stuff. And then, of course, I cooked, fed him. So now his gut is full. He's been pampered. So now I said, I'm going to put it on this man, right?
Hello.
So, of course, we went and started doing what we're doing. And when I mean, he had no control. And I think at the time with him, he wasn't ready for that level of sexual experience.
Okay.
So I did some stuff that I know he wasn't ready for. And he legit busted his nut. I wasn't finished. So I got it hard again. And he was like, stop. And I didn't. He busted again.
Yeah.
He busted again. And he was like, I can't. He legit put on his boxers and ran to his friend's house down the street.
Wait. What do you mean ran?
Legit ran. He wasn't ready.
One time I went to go have sex, I couldn't get it up.
Baby.
He really ran?
He literally ran to his friend's house down. It was, I'm going to say maybe a block down, maybe a little less than a block, but he literally ran to his friend's house and had the nerve to come back like about 30 minutes later. He was like, yeah, I'm not sleeping here tonight. I was hot and mad too. Up to this day, we laughed about it. We laughed about it up to this day. Because I'm like, yeah, when I said I want something, I'm going to get it. And I think that experience of a woman actually not necessarily catering to her man, but to actually do the things normally women do, to have him have that experience, I thought it really triggered in his mind. He was not ready for that.
Absolutely.
He wasn't. Have you ever had someone bathe you or wash your hair?
What, bathe me or wash me bathe? So yes.
Yeah, like wash you.
In my 30s, this was, I'm gonna give you the year because I know where I was living at. This had to be 2006, 2007. And some of that I had met, girl, I met them online. But somebody I had met, they came over. And, I got to be clean. You ain't gonna talk about me. So
yes.
I went to go take a shower. And they wanted to watch me take a shower.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, this is interesting. This is different.
It's different. Yeah.
I'm cleaning and everything else. And what I thought was so interesting was, I got tattoos. I'm tatted all over.
Yeah.
I have I mean, now I have 12. I think at that time I might have had 9 or 10. But they was very infatuated about how. So I like to have an audience. And if I know I used to sing in church. I did the plays, I did all kind of stuff. So I love to have an audience. So the fact I knew I had somebody watching, I had an audience. I made sure I was very,
extra, yes,
with my rubbing and my eye. And they really enjoy watching it. And baby, from the when it was done, from the rooter to the tutor.
Yes, I love it. I love stuff like that. Like, to me, that brings a different level of intimacy, so to say, that you have with a sexual partner. Like, stuff like that is so amazing to me. Love it. Yes, honey.
So we've talked about previously the weirdest place you've had sex, and I always tease you about that.
Yes, me and my demons.
Outside of that situation, what was your most favorite place that you've had sex?
My favorite. Okay, I'm going through my Rolodex, so please forgive me.
No, trust me, I get it. I'm going through mine.
I think my favorite that I can think of right now with this partner, not him, the same one. I was at the beach. It's just something about fucking in water.
Yes, God.
With the waves hitting against you.
Glory to God.
Okay. It's just something about that experience and knowing that you can get caught at the same time. Like, I don't know what it is, but when you biting and you tasting that salt, and then you feeling the essence of him going in and out of you. Good God.
Listen.
I've never had that's one of my favorite moments. At least, when you have someone who's as into you as you are into them,
right?
It makes the experience so much different. Like, it is amazing.
Absolutely.
What about you?
Let me think. For me, my favorite, because I've had some beach experiences as well.
Look at that smile. Look at
I'm scared. I'm trying to tell these stories without putting all my business out there.
I know.
People business out there. My organization, I'm in a fraternity, and we had a national convention one year. Lord help me, please watch over me while I tell the story. There was a red light district party. Exactly. So when you walked in, you had 3 options. You had to put, how can I explain it? Let me just go and put it out there. You had caramel. They had caramel that they would put on your body, which meant one thing. I can't remember what it meant. You had whipped cream. That meant one thing. And if you put this red syrup on you, it meant you were open for anything. I can't remember what the whipped cream and caramel meant, but I remember, like I said, the red syrup, and it was strawberry. The red syrup meant anything. Once again, you ain't gonna try your friend, honey. I'm gonna overachieve. So I decided I'm gonna take the red syrup.
Look at your eyes roll back. Your eyes just roll back. No.
Let me
No,
just
sir.
say that I write about this story in my first book.
Yes.
I'm not going to say what chapter because right now I'm tipsy and I don't remember. But I know it's in my first book. It's in my first book,
I gotta reread
District
it.
69, the Crimson Edition, baby.
Yes, I have to reread it now.
It might be called the Red District. I'm not too sure what I called it, but it's in my first book. And I just remember freedom.
Yes, honey.
That's what I'm gonna say. I just remember freedom. I didn't feel judged. I felt it was fun. And baby, it was everything.
Yes, honey. Yes.
It was just a good old time. It was a very good old time. It was some faces I didn't expect to see. One of the issues I've always had is feeling as if something's wrong with me because of desires that I have.
Yeah.
I want to be accepted or appreciated for who I am as a person. I don't feel like what I desire to engage in behind closed doors should matter. Because I feel like as a person, I treat people right, I treat people with respect. Let that be the focal point of why you want to engage or have a relationship with me.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I refuse to not enjoy life. Baby, I had a good old time. That's all I'm gonna say. And I remember not to bring my grandma up again, but Mama tried me. Let me tell you, she tried me. Because I went from this party being intoxicated to going to another party intoxicated. I wasn't by it was a bunch of frat brothers. We stayed, we had like a nice size hotel suite. It was frat bro that I really trusted, and we had a dope rapport. So we go to this other party on the last night of our conference. It was our centennial conference, which this was 2011. And I just remember going to the party. It was what it was. It was a great old time. But then I had to come back and fly back to Brevard County. And I had my grandma pick me up. Let me tell you, she's so cute. So she gets to the airport. You can tell she's not used to picking nobody up. She comes to the airport, and I get off the plane, and I hear them saying my name over the loudspeaker. I'm like, first of all, my poor little grandma is lost. She can't find her baby. I gotta go find her. She done went to the information desk, honey, and said she can't find her child. Let me go find my lady. So I go get my baggage from baggage claim. I go to the information desk. And my grandma, she must have not been too far away. I don't know if she went to the bathroom or where she went. She wasn't too far away because next thing I know, I look around and she's right there. I said, good, because I didn't want her to be lost. Yes. Because my grandma knows to go to no airport to get nobody.
Right.
So we found each other good. We go to the car. She asked me to drive. Girl, drive what? I'm tipsy.
Intoxicated.
Because mind you, I was drunk down boots, Lauren. I probably only have 2 hours of sleep. Girl, I'm still drunk. Drive what?
We do as
but of
kids.
Course, I can't
God.
Of course, I can tell her I've been drinking. Because this Amanda Fluellen, she don't support this, honey. I can't tell. And I'm looking like, drive what? So scared. Like, Lord help. And let me clarify. I wasn't like drunk, like, oh my God, I don't know where I'm at, but I can still very much feel the buzz.
Yeah.
I would prefer to sleep than to have to drive because I got to pay very good attention. You know what I'm saying? So I get in the car. I never forget her white Toyota Avalon that she had gave me anyways after she gave me before she died. And I remember driving that white Toyota Avalon. And of course, we know Orlando Airport isn't far from Brevard County. That's not the point.
Right.
I'm driving home. Lauren, this is my grandma. So of course she wanted to talk. Girl.
That's the hardest thing when you're drunk and they trying to talk to you.
Me? Why do you want to talk? She want to know about the trip. What did I do? How was it? And I'm sitting here
I'm not even focused right now. No.
And I'm sitting here like, lady, I am drunk. Can you not talk to me? But I can't tell her I'm drunk. Then I'm going to get a lecture that I don't want.
Yes.
Love the lady.
Shauna, I'm going to tell you, Shauna set me up. I'm going to tell you about that one later.
So
she set me up.
It was nothing but God. I said, God, help me make it home to my house, because she was going to drop me off at my house. Please, I mean, it was her house, but please let me make it home.
Yeah.
Get rid of her. Because, Lord, I'm drunk. I can't do this talking. What happened? I want to hear. Give us a little story time.
My sister, Shawnell, okay? Her little ratchet behind. Let me tell you what she did to me. So I went out with some coworkers, right? We ended up being out for like a few hours because at the time we were all living at my mom's house.
Right.
So, you know, at the time now I'm drinking, like I'm drinking because I was not the DD. So I had no worries. So I'm coming home. It was probably like, I'm going to say 11:30 that night.
Okay.
Her and my mom was in my room, right? She and my mom in my room. I'm trying to go take a shower and go to sleep. Let me tell you what Shauna did. Hey, Shauna, oh, how was the night? What did y'all do? Trying to talk to me. And I'm holding on to the wall because I can't really see. It's already dark in my room.
Right.
I'm holding on to the wall and I'm trying to keep my composure because my mom don't know I drink. At least she didn't at the time. So I'm trying to hold myself up, right? And I'm just like, it was good. Like, you know what I'm saying? So then she's trying to chime in, my mom, and trying to ask me questions. I am pissy ass drunk, right? I just want to go and shower and go to sleep. And in my bed. She purposely got my mother in my room, trying to ask me questions, and hear my mom talking about, why you smelling like that? What's that smell? I just need a shower. I've been working. It was a lie. I came home. She wasn't home. My shower that I went to. I went to happy hour. And I ended up staying way longer because at the time with my team,
right,
all of us is drunks. I ain't even gonna lie. All of us was drinkers. So you know what I'm saying? We was out there basically all night. So imagine from, let's say about 7 to 11:30 is just drinking. Who finna talk to you? I can't talk to you. And knowing the fact that we was doing shots and rounds and regular
shots like every time,
I was done. And then my mom talked about, let me go to my room. Because you know how my mother said, let me go to my room. So I try to ease my way past her. But then I knew she knew I was drinking because I knew it was on my breath. Like, you know, because, you know, when you drink, for someone who doesn't drink, they would pick up on it real quick. My mom doesn't drink at all. So I'm just trying to get to bed. And Shauna is just laughing because she know I'm drunk. She know. And the next day she was like, ha ha, I got you. Bitch,
oh no. So she did it on purpose.
She did it on purpose. Ever since then, I don't trust her. I love my sister, but I don't trust her. She always try to get me. She tried to get me. No, but my mom, like, she's just, I'm surprised to see how like open she is now. Because when we were all living under the same roof, ain't none of that was happening. Ain't none of that. So now that we're all gone, it's like, now she's more tolerant.
Right,
That's not
exactly.
what we do. Now my mom knows, like, I really don't care what people say to me. I'm gonna do what I want to do. I drink. I don't smoke anymore, thank God, because
Okay.
that one experience kind of took me
Hello.
out. So she's helped, like, she's really open now to actually having like conversations with her children that is very open. I would never have thought my mom would be like that.
I remember
Never.
the first time that I realized, I mean, we've been close since high school, but I remember
Yeah.
the first time I realized that your mama is very close and comfortable.
Yeah. Yes.
We have went to church, and as usual, we come to your house for lunch.
Mm-hmm.
Mama Rooflin sitting at the table,
Mm-hmm.
and we having our good old conversation. Baby, your mama takes that bra,
Yes,
undo that bra, and she pulls it out from under her like this. Mind you, now we having a whole conversation. So like it ain't,
the look on your face was
nothing.
so priceless.
Your mama took that bra, did what she did,
That
pulled it
was
out
it.
from under here.
Yes, honey.
Whenever she threw
She's
it,
gonna be comfortable, okay?
and continue having her conversation. I was like, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yes.
That's when I realized that our relationship had gone to another level. Because
Yes,
your mama give
yes.
2 damns about that bra.
She
She
don't
don't get
get-
that
look.
bra off, baby.
She's getting it off, okay? Look, and I think that's what I get it from her, because I'm be honest with you, right now I'm just, I gotta keep it in because I'm on camera.
Listen, but I remember one time, the first time I saw my grandma take off her wig, when my grandma didn't have her wig on, she always had it wrapped in something, a scarf
Yes.
or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember one time we got in the
This is
car,
all
I ain't got no sense. I ain't got no sense.
Mm-hmm.
So my grandma decided she better take this wig off. And I'm
No.
like, girl, what you doing?
No.
It was the first time I've ever seen my grandma take her wig off. And I could actually see what her hair looked like underneath.
Look like, yeah.
Like, wait a minute, what you doing?
I'm telling you, it's a whole different experience. You see them in a different light.
A whole
You do.
different experience. It was so funny to me.
Look, I'm telling you, this generation doesn't really know or appreciate what the older generation has done for us. I'm going to call them the silent generation, because
Absolutely.
I don't know what else to call them.
Right,
but
right.
They have taught us so much over the years. And I just really, really love that.
Yeah.
I really love that. And I will take that with me. There's things that we would adapt, like, you know what I mean? Like change up a little bit.
Right.
But we have learned so much from them. And I think that's what makes us stronger as Generation X.
Absolutely.
So much stronger.
Hey, friend, you remember?
Oh, Lord. Remember.
Listen, I need people to understand. This is my sister, honey. We've been friends since high school. This girl here, do you remember that time we were standing outside of Palmer High, the front office, and that old heifer tried you, and I think she was pregnant, and baby, you was about to wear her.
I didn't give a damn. Pregnant.
And I'm like, friend, hold on. Hold on, she pregnant.
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. You trying me. Pregnant or not. Like, here's my thing.
Too much mouth.
Too much. And I'm not a person to bother people.
Correct.
So when you start yip yapping, and what you didn't know, I had my damn locker in my hand, my lock. Because we used to have the lock to
oh no, I remember that. She did. Yeah. You sure did. You had it right in your hand because the lock was hanging here. And you had it right in your hand.
She was gonna get that shit. You hear me? I don't mess with people. So now you're trying to come at me. Oh, I don't talk. I'm all about action.
Correct.
And actions always speak louder than words. So you can yip. That's one of the things that I never understand about females. They have all of this. Why are you doing so much talking?
Right.
You want to fight me? Let's fight. Let's get it over with.
Right.
But then you try to stop me talking about you pregnant. I didn't give a shit. I didn't care. Pregnant or not, you shouldn't try me. Don't try me. I stayed to myself.
And she was talking a lot of shit because she was pregnant. That's what.
Yeah, and that, I think that's
another. Not being pregnant, she wouldn't have been talking all that shit. And let me tell you something. I know her. I know her and that family from years prior to that. So that's why I was standing.
I remember I was new to that school too, because I never knew nobody.
You was new to the school. You didn't know nobody outside of like me and maybe one or two others. And that's the reason why I never stood in between y'all. I stood to the side because I knew she was talking all that shit because she was pregnant. Because had she not been pregnant, she wouldn't have been talking. She
wouldn't have been something like that. Like, that's the biggest thing for me is like when you have, like, when it comes to these people in general, because I fight anybody, it don't matter. If I don't do anything to you, I don't say anything to you, because I wasn't really quiet, but at the same time, I knew when I'm in school, people shouldn't know me. Like I genuinely felt that way. So when you start yabbering, like jibber jabber or whatever you want to call it, you start yapping at the mouth, I'm not going to say nothing. I'm going to show you what the hell I'm talking about. And up till this day, I don't play that. I don't play that. I keep to myself on purpose. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Since when? Oh, I know what that is. Since when? You know what?
About a year now.
My uncle, I don't know if you ever met my Uncle Philip. I think he was in Tampa when he started going to Palm Bay Church. But my Uncle Philip has 3. Girl, how many girls he got? Girl, I'm tipsy. How many cousins I got? He got 3 girls and 1 boy. And he instilled in them the importance of what you got over there, right? Because they're single women. You got to protect yourself.
Yep.
I have always wanted to go to, the range and learn how to.
It's so much fun.
I just gotta say that. I'm so proud of you.
It is so much fun. Let me tell you, like, it is a great stress reliever when you go to the range. Knowing that you are licensed and carrying, if that's something that you want to do, and it's not for everybody, it's all about the mental space. I first say you have to be mentally prepared of knowing when and when not to use your weapon. So for me, once you find that piece, because not before, I wasn't going to do it because I was too hot-headed.
Right.
Now, an area of peace, I'm like, okay, I don't mess with anybody. Nobody have a need to mess with me. But with everything that has been happening recently, with a lot of the police shootings and people just, shooting up all these different places, I said it's best to protect myself, especially now that I'm going to these stores.
I don't blame
that's forever with me. And even when any room that I'm in, that's with me, because I don't know what an inside, like somebody might want to come inside, and I don't know. I think about things. So I'd rather be protected as much as I can be, even if it's just minor. At least I know I can do something. So when you go practicing, you practice how you do them headshots and them chest shots. I'm not perfect, but I'm getting there.
Hello, somebody. Yes,
I suggest try it. Just as a dating event. Let's just say that. Okay. It's very fun.
Okay, you have excited. I'm looking forward to that.
What I can suggest is, if you do, or anybody who's listening, if you want to go that route, I would suggest getting a trainer at the range, and both of you have that experience. And if you want to pursue that experience, definitely take a class and learn about why you should or should not. So that's what guided me to go for what I wanted to go for.
Okay. I like
Yeah.
that. I like that.
Date night is fun. I'm gonna tell you, it's fun. It's
Hello,
fun.
somebody.
It's fun when you do it.
Oh my God. Lauren, I really appreciate you. This was fun.
Thank you.
We would
Yes.
absolutely do this again. This is a good old chill chat and speak
Yes.
with Lauren Gomes.
You know, I'm 2 cups down.
I'm 2 too, but I'm about to get this third one as sure as I clock out.
Oh, I'm done.
Tell the mister I said hello, and I really appreciate it, man. Thank you for always supporting the QB Zone.
Always. Thank you.
All right,
Love you.
take care. Bye. Love you.
Too. Bye.
Well, that's it for the zone today. We are officially shutting it down. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And until next time, remember this. Stay focused and determined. Don't look to anyone else to be your determination. Have self-determination. It will take you very far.